Pollen is so disgusting. For those that live up north that don't have the pollen we have down here, congratulations. Alright, so I ran out of welding wire. I need a 7/8 drill bit. I just don't think the swing out tire carrier is going to get much work done today. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out the steering wheel. So I took the cover off. You can see how terrible it is. And I've got the steering wheel from a 97. It's got a different airbag, but I don't think that's going to matter. So we're all going to learn something together and see if that matters. Start out, there's two, let me get the other steering wheel. Start out, there's two 8mm bolts right here and right here that you take out. The airbag should just lift out, and it did. Now this is where you gotta be careful. You gotta one big thing I have not done yet. Big thing. Always disconnect the battery when working on the airbag unless you want to get popped in the face. Now that I'm not going to be killing myself anymore, let's look at this thing. So there will be a horn wire and then the wire to the airbag. And all you got to do to disconnect the horn is just unplug that. And the airbag should just pull out. Go get a small screwdriver. Okay, so that was just off camera, but you can see all I did was just pry it out. There's two prongs here. And there's the horn. I'll disconnect that. I said I will disconnect that. There we go. And there's my airbag. I'll put it to the side. And I will disconnect what appears to be the side radio controls, which I'm hoping will transfer right over. And it does look like they will. Those aren't radio controls, that's my cruise control, sorry. Okay, now my clock spring is disconnected from the steering wheel itself. One thing you want to do, guys, when you take the steering wheel off or anytime you're messing with it, is be very careful. You can break the clock spring very easily, and then you're going to be screwed and have to buy a new clock spring. What I've got to do is now take this nut off and then use a steering wheel puller to pull that steering wheel off. So let me go get the appropriate socket for that nut and be right back. This is a size 20. I've got a 21 which barely fits it. So you make do what you got. But it is definitely a 20. This 21 is loose. Guys, this is a pretty standard puller that you can buy at any AutoZone or Advance or O'Reilly's, anywhere like that. It just uses bolts to screw into these holes. I'm gonna have to get that little piece out. It's blocking the hole. That's a little clip that holds that wiring. There we go. Simply run the bolts down, center the puller, and you use a ratchet on this and it lifts it out. And I believe that is I'm not sure, let me look. A 16, that's kind of weird. If it ever starts going a little sideways on you like that, undo it, recenter it, don't mess anything up. I may have one of these ran in a little bit less than the other one. And there it comes. Like I said, just be careful of the wires and the clock spring. That's your clock spring. Leave that in place. You don't want that spinning. You don't want to tear anything up. Take your puller bolts back out. And I'm not going to show it on camera, but all I've got to do is take these two hex bolts out, and these will pop right off. Wiring will come with it, and you can see my old new steering wheel, which is from a Jeep that's 2 years older, has the provisions for what I'm going to need to remount that cruise control. And then everything should plug back up. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll put it back on, and that'll be the end of the video. Alright, I haven't cleaned it up yet, but the new steering wheel has been transferred over, and we're going to put it on. Guys, I freaked out a little bit when I first took it off because I had forgot to mark where the steering wheel was in relation to everything because it wasn't centered. But then I realized I shouldn't have been freaked out because this steering wheel actually has a notch in the splines that will only allow it to go back on the same way it came off. So everything should be fine. Oh. Alright, so then all I got to do is feed the wiring through. And then there it only goes in one way. Get all the wiring through. Now, you're not going to get it all the way down on there, obviously. What you want to make sure is that your clock spring's in the right position, which mine is. And then you use your bolt to tighten it on down on there. As you're doing this, you can feel the steering wheel kind of squeeze down on there. That's about right. Alright, plug the horn back up, plug that back up, go ahead and plug the controls back up. That goes back on there. These two go back in, and we're done. I'm not going to bore you with me putting two bolts back in, so let me turn the camera off. I'll put the bolts back in and then finish the video. It's done, and so I can get rid of that big gaudy cover, which I never really liked. I mean, it's nice enough. A lot of people have these, it's just not my style. And I got a new old steering wheel. The tools you would need, I should have probably put this at the beginning. So to do the steering wheel, the tools you'll need will be a couple ratchets, a large one and a 1/2 inch drive and a 3/8 drive, 13mm wrench or whatever size it takes to undo your battery, because you should always do that first. A little flat tip screwdriver, this little Torx, which is a size T20, and a little I use a little screwdriver. You could use a ratchet with 8mm socket and a 20mm socket and a steering wheel puller. So those are the tools you'll need to take your airbag out, take your steering wheel off, to get to your clock spring, any of that. So guys, I'm going to end the video since I've got to go get the drill bit and everything for the tire carrier. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you find it useful, go ahead and subscribe if you hadn't. Hopefully some more videos will be coming quickly. And guys, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully there'll be some fun off-roading videos coming up soon. and some other interesting stuff. And I guess have a great day, guys, and I'm going to go get out of the pollen.